Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Canto 101. This is going to be the first class of the fall 2021 semester. So welcome back all returning participants and welcome to all new ones. So Canto 101 is a beginner's Cantonese class hosted by HKSN. We will be teaching some Cantonese beginners vocabulary and Cantonese phrases so that you can use it in your daily life. So today's theme is going to be midterm season. Since everyone is so stressed with midterms right now and so many assignments, I just wanted to teach you guys how to really express your feelings and express your stress during this time and encourage one another. So first, I will start by introducing some basic vocabulary so that you guys can familiarize yourself before going into the phrases. So just for a recap, Cantonese is a pretty difficult language, even to my knowing. There is a total of 9 tones that are associated with the Cantonese language. So in the transcriptions that I've put down for all of the Cantonese words and phrases, I will be including the tone as well. So these are a list of the basic vocabulary that we'll be talking about today. So the first word will be midterms. So midterms in Cantonese is 中期考試. So you guys can repeat with me. 中期考試. So you can see over here that I've already put down all of the numbers that correspond with a certain tone. So you guys, when you want to practice, you can just follow along with the tones that I've provided. The second word would be exams, which you can use basically all through your life if you're going to continue in academia. So the word would be 考試. 考試. The third word everyone must be familiar with, it's tests. In Cantonese is 測驗. 測驗. The fourth word that we're going to use is to study. So in Cantonese, there are a couple ways to actually say the word study. So there's 讀書, which means either study or you can mean you're just reading. The second one would be 溫書. That mostly corresponds to studying. And 溫習. That also corresponds with studying as well. So you can use them basically interchangeably. So let me just repeat. So it's 讀書, 溫書, 溫習. So the fifth word of the day is stress. I believe that everyone is probably really, really stressed out with all of the work and all of the midterms that we're getting. So stress in Cantonese is 壓力, 壓力. The word 壓力 actually literally translates to pressure. So when Cantonese people say that, oh, I'm under a lot of pressure, that basically means that they're just very, very stressed. And the last vocab that we're going to learn today is pass or fail. So pass in Cantonese is 合格, 合格. And to say fail, it's actually really easy. It's just the negation plus the word pass. So it's 唔合格, 唔合格. So now we're going to go to the phrases that we can express our feelings with and to encourage one another during this stressful time. So I have 2 phrases here for people that want to express their stress to their friends or their family. So the first one is, I'm under a lot of pressure. So in Chinese, you can say it in 我好大壓力啊. 我好大壓力啊. So you can see the word 壓力, which corresponds to either pressure or stress being used again. So you can just use it in that context when you want to say that you're under a lot of pressure. The second phrase is, there's too much to do. 實在太多嘢做啦. 實在太多嘢做啦. 太多, which is the word right here, corresponds to too much. So if you want to say something is too much, you can say 太多. The word 太 basically means like too, like it's too much, it's too little. So you can use that word all the time, and that specific vocab is used all the time in Cantonese. So the second phrases that we're going to be learning today is asking each other how you guys did on the test. So the first phrase would be, how did you do on the test? So if you want to ask your friend how they think the test went, you can say, 你份測驗做成點? 你份測驗做成點? So you can see here the word test is being used again, which is 測驗. And you can see before that there is an article, 份. So in Chinese or in Cantonese in specific, there are always articles in front of nouns. So let's say you want to say a dog, we have specific articles that we put before the noun dog. So in English, you would just say a dog, a cat, a cow. But in Chinese, there is a lot of different articles that correspond to different nouns. So for, a piece of test or an exam, we would say fun. So if you want to say exam instead of test, you would say 你份考試做成點 or 你份中期考試做成點. The second phrase I'll be teaching you today is, did you think the test was hard? So this in Cantonese is 你覺得份卷難唔難? 你覺得份卷難唔難? So the direct translation of this Cantonese phrase into English is, do you think the test was hard or not hard? So usually that's how we asked questions. So let's say if you want to ask someone, oh, are you hungry? So the word for hungry in Chinese is 肚餓. And if you want to say not hungry, you can say 唔肚餓, which is a negation word. You put it in front of the adjective, making it negated. So if you want to ask someone, are you hungry? Usually in Cantonese, we would say 你肚唔肚餓, which corresponds to the structure that we see here, 你覺得份卷難唔難? The third thing is, when you finally receive your results for your midterms or your assignments, there's always going to be good or bad news. So if you want to be sharing good news to your friend about an exam, a test, a midterm, or an assignment that you did, you can say, I can't believe I passed. In Cantonese is 我竟然合格啊. 我竟然合格啊. So you can see the word 合格 being used here because you passed. And the word 竟然 means I unexpectedly passed. So it's usually used when you don't expect it. So 我竟然合格啊, which is just a great surprise. The second one is when you unfortunately did not as well as you thought you would, or that you unfortunately failed. So it's like, I failed this time. So in Cantonese, we'll say, 我今次唔合格. 我今次唔合格. So you can see the word 唔合格 being used again, which is the same structure as we talked before, with the negation word put before the adjective. So we would say 我今次唔合格, meaning I failed this time. So the last part of today's lesson is really, really important, in my opinion, is to encourage one another. Just to encourage one another to do better next time if you did and it wasn't satisfactory or you didn't do as well as you thought you would, which is really important to uplift one another. So the first phrase I'll be teaching you guys is, let's try harder next time. 我哋下次努力啲. 我哋下次努力啲. So you can see here the Chinese characters 我哋 basically means us or we. 下次 basically translates to next time. 努力啲 means try harder. So the second phrase is don't give up. Keep going. In Chinese, it will be 唔好放棄, 繼續加油. 唔好放棄, 繼續加油. So you can see the Chinese character again, which basically means a negation. And you can see a new vocabulary word that you might want to use all the time, give up, which is 放棄. And there is also a really common word in Cantonese being used in this phrase, which is 加油, which means keep going, keep working. So this is going to be it for today's lesson. I wish all of you great results on all of your midterms, all of your assignments. And if you want to say that to your friends, it's 祝大家有美好嘅成績，大家加油，大家加油。Thank you everyone for joining today's Canto 101. See you guys 2 weeks later on the same time on Saturday.